Hey, how you doing there again, folks? Me again, of course, Brandon Wenzel. Come back at you, another offering off my sampler platter. Yes, indeed, folks, sampler reviews, series of videos I do for the water. I go over there, try out food and drink items. I eat stuff, I drink stuff, then, folks, I'm going to talk about the stuff. I'm going to let you know all that you need to know about hopefully delicious stuff that time I'm doing this, folks, I'm not going to lie. I've been meaning to review these for like a week, and I just kept forgetting about it. And then finally today, I was like, let's get it out of the way. But we'll get to that. Folks, it's super simple format. I'm going to go over there and try out food and or drink items for you. Whilst I'm doing so, I'm yammering on about it for a bit. Whilst I'm doing all that, I am inside my truck. And whilst I'm doing all that, folks, well, call me crazy, but I'm wearing grody work clothes. Typically, when I'm inside the truck and I'm wearing grody work clothes, that means that I was on my way home from work and I found some shit to review for you. That's not really the case today. Like I said, I bought this a week ago. And I don't even remember if I bought it after work or not. But yeah, I went over there. I was out and about a week ago, grabbing some supplies, as I've been known to do. And whilst I was making my way around, I was trying to keep my eyes open for potential reviewing items. And I saw this, and I saw it said limited time only. And I was like, well, limited time? I mean, how can you not? Because that's how they get you. What is it, folks? What are we doing here today? It's boom! It's Pringles, but it's not just any Pringles. It's limited time only Pringles. These are Bourbon BBQ Pringles. Sure, why not, I guess. I guess Bourbon BBQ is a little bit of a thing at the moment because literally just yesterday I got through reviewing a Bourbon BBQ chicken sandwich from Arby's. At the time I'm doing this, it's already uploaded. So if you want, you can check that one out. Sure, man, Bourbon BBQ Pringles. All right, let's get a thing for the thing, and it looks like I'll do a little bit of maybe like that. Yeah, ha 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 ha. Sure, let's go ahead and give them a shot. But I mean, it's okay that I took a week to go over there and do them. That's barrel aged. Okay, that's how we do. Okay. Got a barbecue smell to them, as one might expect. Now I'm just going to try one, but you need to believe me that in doing so, I am not some sort of like terrible archfiend demon who's trying to go over there and rid the world of all goodness and normalcy, okay? I'm just trying one right now to get just that one glimpse of flavor, okay? We'll do it proper afterwards. Proper afterwards. It's fun to say. Okay. I've got some room to it. Okay. Yeah. I'm down with that. Kinda. It's a little bit weird, but not in a bad way. I don't think. So even with just the one chip, you get a lot of flavor out of that. And that's nice to see because Dr. Pepper Cream Soda, which, by the way, I reviewed this like the first year I was doing reviews. I think it was like within like my first like 5 reviews or something like that. Go watch that video. But no, thing is with Pringles, because I've reviewed plenty of Pringles by now, when it comes to Pringles, they can be extremely hit or miss with, their flavor pairings and stuff like that. I did like the chili cheese fries ones, which I thought should have been a fucking home run, and I thought those were not that great. I reviewed them, by the way, if you want my full opinion on them. Then I reviewed their Philly cheesesteak ones, which actually I thought were pretty dang good. Again, I reviewed it. Go watch that review. So it's always a little bit about stuff. But these seem proper. And I am going to eat them proper. We're going to do 2. Yeah, it's really interesting. You definitely can taste the bourbon aspect to it. It has kind of an overall tangy barbecue kind of flavor, but then there's something extra, and it is, honestly, it's almost a bit much. Like, and I don't mean that, it tastes like alcohol. That's not the case. It's got that bourbon flavor. But because there's so much of it, it gives it kind of almost like an extra richness, and it's like, I don't know. I like the flavor, but it's one of those things where it's like, instead of going over there and being like, that's really good, I'm just going to keep grabbing them and eating them. It's more the fact of like, that's good. Now I'm going to wait a little while, let my palate readjust before I go get more, because there's a lot to it. And if you, as much as I kind of enjoy the flavor part of it, yeah, I could see this being sort of a love it or hate it kind of flavor. Now for me personally, I like it. I think for me, one thing that kind of hurts a little bit, I would have liked more of a barbecue flavor. Because there is a tangy barbecue-ness to it, but the bourbon aspect of it plays such a dominant role that it just, I don't know, it's there, but it's not there as much as I want. Like, and then when I did the Arby's bourbon barbecue sandwich, like, it had a similar kind of thing. Like, the bourbon aspect was so strong, it kind of outweighed certain other, like the other aspects of the barbecue flavor. And I feel like that's kind of what's going on here. And I get it, obviously the bourbon aspect is the highlight aspect, so you want that to be at the forefront. But I think, at least in my opinion, you don't want to lose the barbecue aspect too. That helps the whole thing. But, yeah, I mean, I still like it. It's an interesting flavor that, again, because I just yesterday did a review, I'm oddly familiar with, and it's interesting to see how it translated in, a sauce on an Arby's sandwich into a Pringles flavor. I wonder if they'll do more stuff. But we'll see. Anyway, 2 questions have to be asked. Would I get them again? Would I recommend them? Probably not, and sure. I think for me personally, I don't dislike them. I think they're kind of neat for what they are. However, again, I personally feel they're a bit too rich, a little bit too much bourbon flavor, not enough tangy barbecue flavor. So although I do kind of like them as a point of interest, there's just way too many other flavors of Pringles that I like a lot more than this. I just find to be maybe less interesting, but a little bit more palatable for me personally. I would go with those way before I would get back to this. And these are one of those things about the only way I could see myself getting them again would be if enough time passed, like morbid curiosity might kick in again. I might be like, maybe. But I've had them. I'm sure I will enjoy the rest of them as time goes by. But again, they're a bit much for me. And even as somebody who really likes punchy flavor, So, if I'm recommending them, though, they are a limited time only, so it's one of those things where I would say try them. I think if you run into them, give them a shot, see what they're about. You might take away from it, more or less than I do. Like, for me personally, I'm not much of a drinker, so, I've certainly had some bourbon in my day. But it's, like I said, I'm not really into alcohol, so it's not a thing like, one way or the other. But, maybe if you're, somebody you like your bourbon, maybe you'll enjoy these more or less. I don't know. But I would say give them a shot, because if nothing else, they're interesting. I don't think they're bad chips, and they have a lot of flavor. So, 5 things before I get out of here. Have yourself a great rest of your day, spectacular rest of the week, monumental rest of the month, stupendous rest of the year. Folks, go over there, have yourselves a truly, bourbon barbecue-tastic rest of your life? I guess. I don't personally think that's the barbecue sauce I would like to fashion the rest of my life off of, but, Final 2 things. Number 1, try to bring some positivity into the world. It's not always possible. It is, however, always appreciated, but what you do if you can't do it all the time, I know I can't do it all the time. Here's what you're going to do, folks. You're going to try not to be an asshole. Folks, it's not always the easiest thing in the world to not be an asshole. Trust me. I know it. I live it. I'm out there every day with you in it. Life can be stressful and frustrating and just bullshit sometimes, folks. And when we find ourselves in situations where we have to deal with said bullshit, it's important we go over there whenever possible. Take a step back. Try to mitigate the level of assholishness in our lives. Hopefully, do better for ourselves and for those around us. Very final thing, folks, do the thing. Whatever the thing is for you, that's what I want you to go out and do. Folks, have you ever actually had any interaction with a bourbon barbecue sauce of any type? Or even just maybe something that's got a flavoring of it? The first half of the year, everything was hot honey. And the hot honey is hung around. It's still doing its thing. I'm still seeing it creep into things. But now we're starting to see the bourbon barbecue stuff. So I wonder, is the second half of 2024 going to be all about the bourbon barbecue? Do you have any predictions, or is it something you're looking forward to? I'd be interested to hear your opinion, genuinely. Anyway,